Let's call to order this, the Monday, November 22nd, 2021 meeting, of the Ellettsville Town Council. Sorry, Chief Corman, would you like to, I'm sorry, who would like to do the pledge? Chief Corman, yes.
I'm on here, so sure, I'll do it. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sandy, you want to do the prayer?
I thought Pam might like to.
Do it. You don't want to do it?
I'd prefer you
Okay.
do it. You're better at it.
Okay. Father, we come to you tonight. We just thank you and keep the hedge of protection on our town. And we ask you, Lord, to give Jimmy and his family peace and comfort as they go through this difficult time. And be with us, Lord, council, as we make decisions and help us to make the best ones for our town. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Sandy, roll call, please.
Scott Oldham,
Here.
Pamela Samples,
Here,
William Ellis,
William's
Trevor
having a problem getting in right now. He'll be in shortly.
okay, Trevor Sager,
Here.
Dan Swafford,
Okay, we do have a quorum, and again, I'm sorry to interrupt Sandy, but William just let me know he's having some issues getting in. He'll be with us shortly.
okay.
We'll move now to approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on November 8th, 2021.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting, November 8th, 2021.
I'll second that. Sandy, a motion, a second when you're ready.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Dan, Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Trevor wasn't here, Dan's not here, and William's not here. So we may need to come back to this once William gets signed on.
I would suggest we do that. Put it at the end of the meeting.
Okay, we
Okay.
can do that. Sandy, if one of you could send William the link again, he's having an issue with the one he's got.
Okay, Amber, can you invite him?
Yes, I'll send it to him right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And we will come back to that. Let's also come back to the accounts payables and payroll. We'll just make those as a group and come back whenever William's here. Let's move now to resolutions. First resolution this evening is Resolution 2021, electing to join the 1977 Police Officers and Firefighters Pension and Disability Fund as administered by the Indiana Public Retirement System.
I'll start with this one, and Sandy can jump in there with some other numbers. So this is Mike Corman, Fire Chief. The resolution before you tonight would allow new employees of the Police and Fire Department and select current employees to participate in the Police and Firefighters Public Employee Retirement Fund, PERF, commonly referred to as the 1977 plan, or shortened up the 77 plan. This would offer the employees a higher yield on their investment and for retirement, plus added security in case of a catastrophic illness or injury that current PERF does not offer. So that's the crux of it. Currently, police officers and firefighters collectively with Social Security and PERF pay between 21.6 and 21.7 of the salaries to go into that. With the new PERF, the 77 plan, that would go up to between 24.8, 24.9%. We'd have to go into the retirement fund, therefore the higher yield also. But they would not pay into Social Security from the town's behalf. So that was that's the crux of the resolution. The move ahead, we've attempted this back in 2000 and kind of half-heartedly a few times in the last 10 years. And I think this is a good idea. We can't get everybody in. It was a cost prohibitive, let alone years of service. It was hard to attain for some of the members. But I think this is a good thing moving forward as the town grows, as a better retirement system.
Questions from council?
Yeah, I've got the question for you, Chief. Just as I take it, the officer or the firefighter elects if they're going into the 1977 fund or not. Am I correct on that?
On this, yes, that's correct.
So we're not forcing anybody to join the 77 fund that doesn't want to.
No, we are not.
That's all I have. Thank you.
But new hires would automatically go on the 77 fund now, right, Mike?
Unless they don't pass the physical, at that point in time, it becomes a decision whether or not to move ahead with their employment activities.
Yes, and they can be on the regular perf if we, like there's age requirements on the 77 plan. And if they choose, if we would find a really good candidate that would exceed that age for the 77 plan, we can still hire them and put them on the municipal perf.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments from council?
And Mike, we would need to make a decision on this by December 1st, correct?
Well, if we want to try to get this for the year 2022, that is correct.
Which
I would
means,
hope we
go ahead,
go
Mike.
ahead. I would prefer if there's strong agreement that we would vote on this tonight for approval. So
Behind the resolution in your packet, I did a little spreadsheet to show you the difference in the cost. And the bottom line is the additional cost per employee in the police and the fire department. So it's pretty minimal. And if it would create a tool to help us recruit, that would be very worth that difference, which is right around $1,600 annually.
Okay, well, I guess I've got a couple comments or questions. Not really questions. Well, one. So Sandy, as you understand it, or Chief, as you understand it, currently under the 77 perf plan, officers and firefighters cannot draw full Social Security benefits because of the public employee retirement system. You even if you have all your quarters in, even if you have your entire Social Security obligation fulfilled, you get a much reduced version of that. Under the current plan that you're under, is that similar, or can you get Social Security and the retirement fund that you're currently under?
The current plan allows for you to draw your perf retirement and Social Security. We pay in Social Security their whole career.
Okay.
But the 77 plan, of course, then we stop paying Social Security, and we would not pay into that fund for them at all. We do still pay Medicare,
Right.
but it would create a situation. I haven't talked to anyone personally, and the representative of PERF said that she could not comment on Social Security. So, I mean, I've really only heard through Mike. So Mike, if you would like to speak to that, you're probably better qualified.
your statement's exactly correct.
Okay,
I
so
don't have anything else to offer on that. So
I guess it's not really an issue, but just for those that choose to go into 77 to be aware of that, particularly those that are already in the current plan and would choose to elect to go to 77 as opposed to new hires, they need to be cognizant of that and probably should be doing some calculation with a financial advisor to see where they come out better. Because I would really hate for some of these guys that are on the younger end of the scale, but currently on the old plan, to essentially forego benefits that they're currently entitled to that they will not get later. And no matter how much you pay into Social Security later, you're only going to get a very small percentage back under the 77 plan as opposed to what you're currently under. With that said, I think this is a movement that needs to happen for a variety of different reasons. However, I guess I am concerned or just frankly unwilling to support the fact that new hires get a choice or that we make a choice for new hires. We need to just make a clean break and begin. Every new hire has to fit 77 because I really don't want to get into liability down the road where they didn't pass the 77 physical and or mental, but we hired them anyways. And then something went catastrophically wrong years down the road that would have been caught by the 77 pension fund mental and physical exams. And then the town winds up being liable either to somebody else that the employee was somehow or another involved with or hurt, or the employee themselves, because we didn't keep the same standards for every employee from this point forward. So I guess I'll put that forward to council in addition to whether we're approving this or not. Yes, Chief.
I agree. But for this crossover for the initial with the employees now, they, according to PERF, is just an option, all right, that you can do. But from going forward, though, any brand new person, the town could establish that by ordinance to say, this is the time frame. We will elect all new employees with exception of higher echelons, which I think is the number 1 and number 2 in command. There are still options for that, but everybody else, basically a merit position, would have to be in the 77 plan going forward. I support that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to undercut the guys that are currently under the old plan wanting to move. It's just, if we're going to do this, it needs to be a clean break from this point forward. Everybody's a 77 fund or nobody is.
And this is the only time that all of the people, because we're starting up a new plan, they all have the option to go to the 77 plan if they want. If, and like you said, if it's a cost benefit for them and they're enough age left to, work 20 years and be
Yes.
healthy. Yeah. So the one thing that was interesting to me that the PERF representative pointed out, that if we had an employee that was vested in the current PERF and then switched to the 77 plan and they were able to work another 20 years, they could draw a pension from both plans. So that's a possibility that's out there.
What's the vesting stage in the current plan?
The current plan is 10 years.
Okay.
And then the 77 plan is 20 years. So you have to be able to know that you can complete 20 years to make it be a benefit.
Mr. Farmer, do you have an opinion here as the town manager?
I do not. I mean, I just don't think I'm qualified to weigh in on it. I like what you said about making sure everybody knows where they're at going into this, and they probably ought to look at some personal advice from their accountant or professional finance person. So, it just needs to be looked at. But I also like the idea that everybody moving forward that comes in would be part of the plan.
Another difference that I wanted to point out in the plan is on the civilians PERF, we pay a 3% matching, and several years ago, the town decided to pay that. That's the employees portion, and they waived a raise 1 year and picked up that 3%. And on the 77 plan, it's 6% instead of 3%. But overall, it's very close. The cost of it is very close if we pay the 6%. Kind of losing my.
The resolution and the paperwork that's going to be filed says we are picking up that 6%, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yes. I just want to make the council aware that there was a difference in the voluntary contribution for the employees. So, but the total, if you take away the Social Security, is within 2%.
So does the town pay into Social Security for the employee? Just so everyone's aware.
No, they'll not. Currently, they do for all employees because we're on the municipal PERF plan. But once we do the 77 plan, I will no longer pay into Social Security for all those employees that are on the 77 plan.
See, that's how it makes up the difference, is we're not paying into Social Security, but we're paying into PERF.
Yes.
Okay.
And Scott, just to add to it, as I understand it, this will be considered an enticement to allow us to recruit better. Is that correct, Mike Corman?
That's my opinion. Yes, it is.
It's a step that needs to happen. Eventually you're going to have to do it as the town begins to grow further, to get both groups onto the same plan. And quite frankly, the biggest selling point of the plan is stability, because the plan is incredibly well run and incredibly well funded. And it's also for the town, the protection of the incredibly rigorous physical and mental tests that have to be done before you can even get into it. They flag a lot of things that people don't even know exist, and they make sure that everything's taken care of. So, further comments or questions from the council?
If an existing employee decides to go into it, they can't qualify, I mean, are we talking about possibly separating with them then, or?
No, the current employees can choose. And so I would assume if they didn't qualify on the application, they would just stay in municipal perf. Do you agree with that, Mike?
That's what Debbie from the PERF program said on the initial, that if they, cannot get in for other requirements, which maybe not specific, then they stay in the regular perf, just one time.
And cities are required to be in the 77 plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. Eventually, you're going to have to do it. I mean, as the town grows, it may be 10 years, it may be 20 years, but eventually you're going to have to get. So.
So you've got experience with your job with the 77 plan, right?
Yes.
And you're happy with that plan?
Never known any difference, so I can't give you back forth.
Okay.
It is what it is.
My dad's a retired fireman and he's happy with it. He says it's really good, so.
Well, Debbie told us it was a substantially larger retirement than our municipal perf retirement.
And they've got some things that are within the State House right now, looking at changing your benefits. There's 2 or 3 things that are out there that all would be a benefit to the employee and frankly, a benefit for recruiting to the town. So yeah, if they decide to go that route, it's definitely going to be an upswing. All right. Any further questions or motions from council concerning this as a personnel decision?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 20-21, electing to join the 1977 Police Officers and Firefighters Pension and Disability Fund as administered by the Indiana Public Retirement System.
Second,
Motion is second. Sandy, please.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
If I can, Darla, would you prepare the appropriate ordinance mandating that every police and fire employee from this point forward be part of that plan?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Moving now to resolution 21-2021 fiscal plan for Fair Storage Incorporated annexation 5010 North Lakeview Drive. Is this Mr. Talati or is this Mr. Ferris?
I thought
I
Mr.
can't-
Talati would come on.
I can introduce it.
Okay.
At the previous Plan Commission meeting, the Plan Commission voted to send the request for the voluntary annexation for North Lakeview Drive, 5010 North Lakeview Drive to the Town Council with a positive recommendation. And so as you will recall, when a piece of property is annexed, the municipality is required to approve before the annexation a fiscal plan. And that is the resolution in front of you. It's the fiscal plan for the Ferris Storage Inc. annexation. And I don't know if Kevin has any further comment on it, but as I recall, there are going to be no additional services to be required because they're already being made to the area. So if I'm wrong, Kevin can correct me on that, but.
No, that's pretty much it.
No,
I think Kevin Talati.
I don't have anything else
Okay.
to add.
Okay. Questions and or comments from council?
I just say, I think it'd be a great thing for that to be into the city or town, sorry, ahead of myself here. And I appreciate Kevin being willing to do that.
Welcome back, Kevin, by the way.
Thank you. Good to be back.
All right. Are there motions from council concerning this?
I make a motion to accept resolution 21-2021 physical plan for the Fair Storage Corporation annexation 5010 North Lawrence Lakeview Drive.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Sandy?
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Oh,
There are no ordinances on first reading this evening. The ordinance on second reading also pairs with this last resolution. That is ordinance 2021-19, the voluntary annexation of 5010 North Lakeview Drive, Ferris Storage Incorporated.
This is the ordinance I just discussed earlier for the annexation.
Council
Does this
comments
need a
or
motion?
questions?
I have no comments, but I'll make a motion for it if need be.
Sure, let's do that because I don't think anybody else does.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2021-19, the voluntary annexation of 5010 North Lakeview Drive, Ferris Storage Incorporated.
Second,
Take your pick, Sandy, and when you're ready.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
yes,
motion carries.
Again,
thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Can we go back now to the minutes and the,
Good to see everybody.
good to see ya.
minutes and the accounts payable, vouchers and payroll?
Because it's eating at you that we haven't done it yet, or because you think
No.
that's what fits here?
I thought it fits here.
Okay. So let's revisit that. Let's revisit approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on November 8th, 2021.
And I do have a motion and a second. We were just short on our vote.
Okay. So let's do the vote then.
Okay, Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager, you weren't here, so you probably don't want to, and Pamela Samples,
Yes,
motion carries.
Now, Sandy, how bad is it going to bother you if we wait to do payroll until the end? Because
Well,
we
I
got
think
them
I can
together, so
handle
like,
it. I think
well,
I
let's
can handle it.
let's just do payroll anyway. So action to pay accounts payable, vouchers, and payroll.
Has already been a motion on that one.
No,
So moved.
second,
Motion second, Sandy?
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
yes,
Thank you very much. The motion carries.
Okay. Skipping back down to where we left off, there is no old business. Mr. Farmer, is there a flood report?
No, nothing specifically. They are still working on our flood plans, and like I said, they should be finished sometime in the very near future, and then they'll be doing their permitting. And so I'll be talking about using ARPA money for flood remediation, and so I'll go into that a little more detail about how that ties up with Christopher Burke's efforts to get us a flood plan.
Okay. I don't see Mr. Rary for the Envision Ellettsville update. Okay. So we'll move down to new business, which is authorization for town council president to sign community crossings matching grant agreement.
This is Denise in the planning department. At the last meeting, I came to you and advised we were awarded a community crossing matching grant in the amount of $197,175.72. This year, they are doing a little something different with the agreement. They're requiring permission for the town council president to sign, so it will appear in the minutes. And then I will forward the minutes to them, and they will forward it to Scott through DocuSign for it to be signed. It takes a long time to circulate paper copies throughout all the different offices in the state that have to sign off on it. So NDOT thinks this is a more efficient process. So I'm just requesting permission for Scott Oldham to sign the agreement when it's ready. I have sent it to Darla to review, and I'm uncertain if she's had time to review it.
I have, and it appears to be, I don't want to say boilerplate necessarily, but it's very similar to other agreements that the town council has reviewed for matching grant agreements, meaning that the town is going to be subject to certain reporting requirements, auditing requirements, and timeline requirements. And if the town is found to have used the money for a purpose for which the money was allocated, the town will have to pay it back. So otherwise, yeah, you've all seen those agreements, and I see no problem with this particular agreement.
Okay. Other questions or comments from council? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion from council?
I'll make a motion for the authorization for town council president to sign community crossings matching grant agreement.
Second.
Motion is second. Sandy, please.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks, Darla.
Nice work, guys. Now we'll move to privilege of the floor. Anyone having business for the council not part of our normal agenda this evening? Okay, seeing no one there, we'll move down to supervisor comments.
I'll start. Michael Farmer. Just wanted to let the board know that we will have a phone conference with Baker Tilly, Doug Baldessari, and Paige Sansoni will be representing them. I've give them a list of possible uses for the American Recovery Plan Act, which everybody calls ARPA, the funds that we've received. And so once they sign off that they would pass muster with the feds on utilization of the monies, then it'll be presented to the board. And if you find that it's a good use of the money as well, or if you want to change any proposal that I've made, that'll be, I think that's the way we should do it. Maybe I should have talked to you first, but really we've not committed to anything. So I just wanted to put something up for you to either agree with or change as you see fit. I will say that the bulk of the money will be for flood remediation, something that will respond to the plans and the permitting that should be done before spring of next year. And so, my proposal for a bulk of the money would be for Vine Street flood mitigation. And then another line item is possibly some other stormwater projects that KIP's put together and we think are important for some of our neighborhoods. After that, we would like to commit $100,000 to the Next Level Trail Grant as a matching fund. That's one of the areas that we were deficient the last time we applied for it. We're in the middle of, actually, I should say, Denise is in the middle. Denise and Kevin have been working on the trail grant application, and they want to submit in the next couple of weeks. And so that's one area where we would like to use some of the money. I think we're probably close to a $2 million ask for the grant, but once we submit it, Denise can report on it at the next meeting. Trail enhancement, park enhancement is where we think some of the money should go as well. And then we think we ought to start turning Stewart Park or Stewart property into a park. And so we've designated $250,000 for that. All this money is in a narrative that can be changed, and the amounts and the priorities can be changed. And that's where once we get approval to move forward and get what Baker Tilly thinks is appropriate use of the funds, then we'll put it to the board, and then you guys can start rearranging it or changing it or adding to it any way you want. I don't know if when we get to that point, that we want to have a work session. Maybe it's a really good idea. It would be pretty cumbersome to do at a meeting, but after the meeting tomorrow, I'll send you an email, tell you what they said. Any of the board members that wants to jump on the conference call should consider doing that, or maybe even just meeting me at the town hall tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'd really appreciate it if anybody could show up. But otherwise, I'll give you a report and we'll go from there. Questions?
When do you expect this all to be ready to be presented to council, Mike? I know you had some timeline in your head, but I don't remember what.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking as early as the first meeting in December. Maybe it'd be more appropriate just to wait till after the first of the year, because once we get some steam up, I want to keep moving forward. And with the holidays and vacations and this, that, and the other, I'd like everybody to be involved. So what's your pleasure? What do you think?
I didn't know when it would be ready, and I didn't know what the other council members' schedules are going to be, if we can handle this in a regular meeting or if we need a work session or what.
My suggestion is once we get our plan together and get that, all written out, then we can present that to the council for them to look over and then meet after that.
Well, I would add that the indications from Baker Tilly is all of our uses are appropriate, and we're just going to, Darla will be there and Sandy will be there. And so if they all give it an approval, we'll be able to move pretty fast. But December's kind of like Friday. It's hard to get anything done and get people to decide on things on a Friday, and December's kind of like that as well. So if everybody wants to wait till January, we're not in a hurry, although I feel like we always should be. So I've been told not to be in a hurry on this, but I have a plan that I want to present, so I can go whenever you say.
Okay. What's the rest of the council's pleasure? Or just thoughts at this point?
I think it'd be better after the holidays myself. Sometimes it's hard to get everybody together with everything going on. But I'm okay either way.
I'm kind of in the same boat there. I don't know that I like Mike's idea of just once we get rolling, staying rolling, as opposed to taking a 3 or 4 week hiatus.
Just shoot for a January work session.
That'll be perfect. It's going to be so cold, there won't be anything else to do anyway.
Right.
Well, aren't
Mike, will you bring hot chocolate for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in.
Other supervisor comments?
I would like to say that last week we had our meeting with our employees for our health insurance. We had our open enrollment day. No big changes this year. IU Health offered just a 3.2% increase in the premium. And so we just started with IU Health last year, and there was some trials, but I think we've worked most of them out. And so we also decided that but due to lack of use, we had contracted with the clinic in Monroe County downtown at the health department so that our employees could use that facility. And we just did not get a very good turnout for the employees, from the employees. So we dropped the what's called the Activate Clinic for next year. And that cost us a little over $20,000. So that'll more than make up for the small increase in the insurance. And everything else stayed the same. Our dental, vision, and our short and long-term disability, no changes.
Okay. Chief?
Yes. I want to thank the council again for the passing of the resolution allowing police and firefighters to go into the 77 plan. This was attempted once in 1988, again in 1999, along with the city versus the town referendum, and kind of half-hearted with the years 15, 16, and 17. This is really, really big. This puts us at a higher level of professionalism. It also puts us in a different category as far as a community. 1984, since 1984, all employees have been on the same plan. Now we are making a separation of that with the police officers and firefighters. This was really, really big. I can't express that enough. And I'm looking forward to the challenges that as we move on with this, because we're used to the regular municipal perf. And now we're going to have some people on the 7-7 plan and work with that. So I'm sure I'm behind the 8 ball just a little bit, or maybe a lot on that. So, but we're looking forward to the challenges to get this to work through it and then make it happen for everyone for a better benefit. And again, I just want to thank the council a lot. This was really big tonight. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chief. Other supervisors,
I have nothing.
Kevin,
I don't have anything.
okay. And seeing no one else, move now to council comments. Okay, I guess I've got one quick one, is just again, extending the town's condolences to the Durnall family and wishing them nothing but the best in the weeks to come. It's a difficult time for them, but in the end, things will get better. So with that said, any other comments?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Set your scales back, because you'll gain weight.
Throw them out the window.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Seeing nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Sandy, please.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries, meeting adjourned at 7:08 PM.
Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.